Welcome back, listeners, to another Light Tuesday. We've got Chapter 1, Part 1 of The Invincible Shovel, which I really liked the prologue. Hopefully you did as well. And we're going to begin by going through this. If you like this sort of content and you want to hear and listen to more, hit the like button, hit subscribe, as well as that cheeky notification bell to be notified when more videos drop. And let's jump into it. Chapter 1, Part 1. It had been some time since Alan had last descended from the mountain. If he counted correctly, the last time he'd gone to the surface world was 256 years ago. "Phew, that was a long time," he said to himself. "I bet nobody remembers me. Heck, there probably isn't anyone alive who would." After discovering a vein of special mineral he had dubbed demonite, Alan spent years upon years mining the precious resource. Food and drink weren't a problem. Alan knew how to survive underground for years on end. Hell was just a fancier part of the mine. As far as he was concerned, he was able to find subsistence. Thanks to his survivalist skills and unwavering passion for mining, Alan had amused a large quantity of goods. The problem was he didn't know who to sell his wares to. As far as he knew, the Mages Guild had used to deal with was long gone. He packed up his wares along with his trusty shovel and began to make his way up out of hell and back down the mountain path. First things first, he thought to himself, I gotta find a market for my goods and then find a way to train an apprentice to be my successor someday. Wonder if... Ah! His musings were cut off by the screams of what sounded like a young woman. Huh? With his trusty shovel in hand, Alan hasted to the area where the screams were coming from. It was his responsibility to save a woman in need. Huh? With his trusty shovel in hand, Alan made haste to the area where the screams were coming from. It was his responsibility to save a woman in need. This was part of what being a miner meant, or so his father had taught him some 1,000 years ago. The other thing his old man integrated in him was to find a wife for himself, so he could ensure there would be a successor to the family business. Not that it mattered at the moment. Are you all right? Do you need help? Alan asked upon arriving at the scene. He surveyed the area. There was a busted carriage in the middle of the road. Not far from it was a young lady surrounded by a group of gruff-looking men. Alan assumed they were bandits or something. They were obviously up to no good. One of them grabbed the girl by her golden locks, while another pulled at her pure white dress. She looked for all the world like a beautiful princess. "Let me go, please!" the girl cried. "Oh, aren't you nice and soft, you fake princess?" "Ah, let go!" "Come on, you damn idiot. Don't damage the goods. We got 1,000,000 gold coins riding on her head." Alan didn't quite follow the conversation, but he could at least tell that the young lady was being attacked by these ruffians, which meant he had only one course of action to take. He stepped forward, brandishing his shovel. "Stop this at once!" he shouted. "What?" The head of the bandits looked at Alan and his shovel, then tilted his head in confusion. "Who the hell are you? And what's up with that shovel?" "My name is Alan, and I am a miner. Release the lady at once. If you don't..." He gripped his shovel tightly. "The power of my shovel will render your lives forfeit." A moment passed in silence. Another heartbeat, too. And then the bandits broke out in hysterical laughter. "Quit while you're ahead, old man," one of them said. "The boss here used to be a holy knight." Boss slapped his knee with mirth. "The power of my shovel will render your lives forfeit." "What a stupid line." "That's new on me," said the leader of the bandits. He squared off against Alan, totally unfazed by his threat. "Look, Mr. Miner, this ain't got nothing to do with you, if you don't want to die here." Swoosh! A flash of light quickly moved through the air, and a crack appeared along the ground beneath Alan. The leader had drawn his long sword and used one of its powers in one smooth motion. "Then just head home," he finished. The bandit leader clearly had no intention of backing down. Alan would have to fight. He grimaced, none too pleasing about using his shovel bolt against another human being, but he wasn't able to let these bandits hurt the girl. Alan gripped his shovel even tighter and concentrated. His eyes narrowed, locking onto his target, the bandit leader's sword. The leader scoffed. Looks like you're asking for a bruising. Hi-ya! The gruff man swept his sword down towards Alan, accepting this fight to end like all the others. His underlings hadn't lied about him being a former holy knight. He was fast, and his swordplay was clean and accurate. Anyone else would have been dead in a second, sliced in two by the bandit's sharp blade. It's just that it was no match for Alan's shovel. Dig! Alan roared, aiming his shovel with the eerie swoosh noise. He fired his shovel bolt. The shining blue beam of destructive light made direct contact with his opponent's weapon. And, just like that, the former holy knight's sword evaporated. What? The bandit's leader looked down at his empty hands, lost for words. Boss, what are you playing around for? One of his minions asked. The leader remained silent and unmoving. No surprise. Holy Knight training did not include circumstances in which the sword would be evaporated. This was beyond his comprehension. Boss, the other bandit said carefully. What's going on? Another bandit snapped his fingers. Wait, I know. The boss probably ditched his sword because he wants us to take care of this. Oh, I get it, the other said, jumping to a hasty conclusion. Damn, you're smart. Let's get him. Sir Minor, the young lady with the golden locks and the white dress finally spoke up. Sir Minor, please run. Her long hair shook back and forth as she desperately pleaded with the would-be savior. Don't worry about me. You can't possibly win with just a shovel. For some reason, Alan couldn't help but smile at her words. He was genuinely happy. As far as he could tell, the young lady in question was just that young, 15 years old at most, and she was concerned for his well-being. Her own life was in danger, but here she was worried about a stranger's safety. He admired the heck out of that. I guess the surface folk ain't all bad in this day and age, after all. Alan decided to go all out. He had to protect the young lady whose heart was as precious as any jewel. The young lady who would risk her life for a complete stranger. Engage power-up sequence, Alan said, a bit melodramatically. But, for some reason, he had felt like showing off a bit for the girl. Blue energy beam to gather around his tool. It was the very concept of the shovel turned into energy. The light of digging! During the dual war, Alan had used this light to seal away the Emperor of Hell for all eternity. Hey, let's scram! Everybody get the hell out of here! This guy ain't right! Only the bandit leader had noticed the light of digging, but it was too late. The blue energy converged at the tip of the shovel. Alan gripped the handle tightly and released the safety lock. Power and targeting were a go. Target the bandits. Shovel recoil barrier. All green. Shoveling power charge 100%. Dig! He commanded. Kaboom! The explosion of energy eradicated everything in its path. Alan called this particular technique wave motion shovel blast. The way he saw it was the essence of the shovel itself. A wave-like energy inherent in the process of digging and burying. At full power, it could harness the same amount of energy as the Big Bang exploding outward in the bright blue wave beam. It was the ultimate shovel technique. It was also, unsurprisingly, a bit difficult to aim. The light beam passed directly over the bandits' heads, lancing past Alan's integrative targets. Directly behind them was a mountain, emphasis on the was. Oh shoot, Alan said. Didn't mean to dig up the whole mountain. The entire natural structure had been annihilated by the wave motion shovel blast. He should have been more careful. The bandits' jaws dropped to the ground, their mouths moving silently for a moment before delayed screams erupted from their throats. Ah! Wait! Ah! Even the young lady in the white dress screamed in shock. Everyone present looked at where the mountain once was, and then back at Alan's shovel. Nobody could have believed what they had just witnessed. My apologies. Alan caught the young lady just as she began to fall to the ground. That was the recoil from the shovel wave motion shovel blast. I'm sorry. I went overboard. Shovel wave motion gun? The girl raised her voice in shock. I really am sorry. I should have told you ahead of time to assume the anti-shovel defense position. What? the young lady was on the verge of fainting. The fateful encounter would go down in recorded history as the legendary first meeting between the miner and the princess. And there we go. There's chapter 1, part 1, and I absolutely really love this book. I actually really am liking it quite a bit. So I might change the miner's voice because it's a bit heavy on mine, but I might change it. So we'll see what happens. So if you like this sort of content and you want to hear more about the Invincible shovel, then hit the like button, hit subscribe. If you like light novels, do the same. And with that, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much for listening and watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.
チャンネルをサポートしてくれてありがとうございます。チャンネル登録、高評価お願いします。以下のリンクから商品を入手することができます。